Welcome to Subramani. In India, we don't spend enough money on doing research, especially on personal finance, ever. So we don't really know how Indians think about their money and their retirement. But one thing which I find, and I talk to a nice range of ages, but not too much in terms of communities. I speak only to specific communities. Is to find out what they feel about retirement. So there are 85, 86-year-olds who are still worried about getting an extra return, and who are worried that they will outlive their money. So outliving their money is a fear which is there even among 80-year-olds who have enough money, right? Who have, say, couple of crores, they have a house, they can't outlive their money, whatever they do. But then that constant fear that if I am bedridden and if I need a full-time attendant and etc., I am alone, my children are very far away, I don't know whether my children will send me money in a worst case scenario. That fear is paramount, at least in the US. I'm sure it is there in India also. If you go to senior citizen homes and talk to people, people are afraid of that. So they won't spend because they think they will run out of money. So what all should you do? So first of all, based on your personality, if I am your MFD or I am your financial advisor and I tell you you need 30 times your annual income, 30 times your annual expenses when you're 60. So suppose you're 60 and your annual expenses are about 12 lakhs. So which means you need about 3.6 crores according to me and according to the thumb rule. But you realize that thumb rules are not always easy to implement and easy to remember and easy to and always accurate. So by the time you're 54, 55 or 50 plus, start looking at how much corpus you need based on your personality. It's something very simple. Somebody who listens to me and says, okay, I need 30 times, he will be happy with 3.6 crores. Simple. He says, oh, Subra has told me 3.6 crores, so that's sufficient. But there will be somebody who is saying, look, whatever Subra says, what happens if I live long, etc., etc., etc. So he or she may be comfortable only at 7 crores, which is perfectly all right. I'm not here to say that the thumb rule is 30 times, so everybody should have 30 times. For somebody, 10 may work, for somebody, 40 may be needed. So if you are the type who needs 40 times or 50 times so that you feel better, then aim for it. Save more, invest more aggressively, invest more smartly, which means you have to maximize your savings. Also maximize your savings during the initial part of your retired life. So maybe from you retire at 60, so 60 to 65, you live a little more frugally and have enough money in equities, and that is, if that is growing, especially in the last 6-7 years, that must have grown well. Forget what happened in the last 6-7 months. In the last 10 years, your portfolio must have done well if you were reasonably smart to invest in correct mutual funds or correct equities, right? Second, in the US, there is something called a 4% rule. The 4% rule is you will be able to withdraw 4% of your corpus in the first year. So let's say you have 1 crore, you will be able to withdraw 4 lakhs. And every year you can increase it to the extent of inflation. So if inflation is 7 or 8%, you will be able to withdraw more. So first year you needed 10 lakhs, second year they believe you will need 10 lakh 70,000, right? So that may not be 4% of your corpus, it may be 2% of your corpus or 3% of your corpus or 5% of your corpus, depending on the size of the corpus that you have built. So if you have built only 1 crore, obviously now it becomes little more than I mean, if it was 5 crores, it would become something like 2%. If it was 4 crores, it will become something like 2.5%. If it was 3 crores, it will become something like 4% soon, right? So depending on what depending on where you live, how much you're spending, and how, see, if you are spending money on one cook, one maid and one driver and one person to do something else, right? So chota mota kaam, like they say in India, then those salaries are likely to go far ahead of inflation, right? So that those things you have to worry about. But if you are saying, oh, I take a Ola or an Uber whenever I need, I have a friend's car sometimes which I can take in case of an emergency, so I don't need a car and things like that. So then to that extent you are saving one cost of a driver, and that that means inflation will impact you less than somebody who has got a driver and who's paying for petrol. You are paying for petrol only the time you're traveling, whereas the person owning a car is also paying petrol for the evaporation that happens. So look at the 4% rule, see how you can change it. I have a simple rule saying stick to the 4% rule, but also adjust your withdrawal according to the mood of the market. So suppose you have put your money into different baskets, basket A, basket B, basket C, where basket C is equity, and if when the markets are doing well, you might as well withdraw from bucket C rather than from bucket A. Bucket A is normally where you will withdraw from. But if the markets are doing well, maybe you withdraw whatever your requirements, maybe 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs a year, so about 1 lakh a month from your equity rather than from your first basket of A. So you withdraw from C rather than from A, or you sell something from C and put it in A. This is not, I mean, I'm not getting into market timing, but if you think the market is not doing too well and you're a little scared and your bucket A has got money only for 3 months or 4 months and you think you want for 3 years, maybe it's a good time to be selling from C and putting into A. I'm not timing the market. I'm just reducing my anxiety by selling off some equity. Maybe market peaked in say September 2024 and market fell in by February 2025. The market must have fallen about 12-13%. Is that a good time to sell? No, it's not a good time to sell. But if by selling 10 lakhs you can put into your bucket A and reduce the chances of having to do more panic selling when the market falls, you might be better off. Or you might say, okay, let me withdraw 1 lakh from bucket C for the next 3-4 months, and then if the market is further down, then I will start withdrawing from bucket A, right? So you can do all those things, but adjust your retirement income in such a way that you don't feel deprived, nor do you overspend, right? So do that. Again, another thing which many people don't do is to minimize the tax burden. So minimizing the tax burden comes from putting your money in a balanced advantage fund or a multi-asset fund, something like that, which has some debt element, and doing a SWP from there after 2 years, right? So this means you avoid short-term capital gain. You also avoid interest from bank on which you will pay tax on a regular basis. So minimizing your tax bite is it's a very smart thing to do, but this you have to do with the help of your investment. You as an investor, your investment advisor and your chartered accountant should be on the same page, because the investment advisor does not necessarily know enough about taxation. So he may suggest some things which may prima facie look good, but your chartered accountant will strike it down and saying no, even if you did this, there will be clubbing provision, or there will be no clubbing provision till your child is major, till your child becomes after your son or daughter becomes a major. So some of these things you have to keep in mind while you are withdrawing, right? So if you are in the US, it is time to optimize your social security, decide at what age you want to withdraw. The more you delay, the better it is, because it will last longer and it will become a bigger amount, right? So it will anyway last you for the rest of your life. Then you will of course have to maintain equity exposure, but you have to have enough cash or cash equivalent in bucket A, so that you don't panic if the market falls even further. So let's say from the peak the market has fallen about 10-12%. Can the market fall another 10-12%? I don't know, but I don't see any reason why it should not fall. Nor does the market come and ask me, should I fall? So we normally analyze after the market has fallen. So no great use except as a indicator for for the future markets. So maintain your equity exposure, be careful, maintain enough cash so that you don't have to panic. And if you are the panicking types, then there is one product, I'm not selling it to you, but I'm just saying, called annuities, and you will never go to zero in annuities. So that's useful. So maybe you put a couple of crores there, knowing that this annuity payment will start at your age of 70 or 75, whatever age you have taken it at, so that you never run out of cash also. You will not run out of assets anyway. You have a house, you have a portfolio, etc., etc. But this gives you cash on, say, the 1st of every month or 7th of every month. So look at look at what you can get from your social security if you're in the US. Look at how much you can withdraw from PPF, etc., on particular dates. Or if you have some insurance policy maturing when you're 60, 65, 70, 75, not a product which I am suggesting. Have a look at all of that. Thank you.